Have you ever seen something so beautiful that you were absolutely taken back and just could not describe what you just saw? This happened to me during my first scuba diving trip. And boy, was it amazing. The ocean, just like space, is still quite a mystery. We don't know much about the waters that we call ocean. Did you know that there are more artifacts and remnants of history in the ocean than there are of all the world's museums combined? I would like you guys to have an open mind about scuba diving. And to help you do this, I want to talk about 4 things. I want to talk about if scuba diving, if you have to be a great swimmer to dive, if the scuba diving class is difficult, if your fear of sharks is justified, and if scuba diving is expensive. So I took a survey of 30 people, and I asked them if they would be willing to go on a scuba diving trip, and why or why not. 13 of those people said no. Their main reason being that they're not great swimmers. Hence the reason why I want to talk about that. 17 said yes. Their reason being that it would be a great way to experience something new. The first thing that I would like to talk about is if you have to be a great swimmer to dive. The diving class itself requires of you to be a proficient swimmer. You have to be able to tread or stay afloat for 10 minutes, and then you also have to complete a 200-yard swim using any technique that you want, and there's no time limit whatsoever. Me being the youngest person in my class, I finished first for the 200-yard swim. Another lady who was in her mid-30s, she finished last. But that did not mean at all that she was not able to get certified. The second thing that I would like to talk about is if learning to dive is difficult. Absolutely not. You have to be in overall good health conditions. I honestly wouldn't suggest you to go scuba diving if you have heart conditions or any other serious health problems. You also need to have a basic comfort around water. You're going to be submerged in water, everything around you is water. So honestly, if you're claustrophobic or afraid of drowning, you probably would not want to consider going scuba diving right away. You would probably want to conquer that fear first. And you also need to have the desire to explore. That is what scuba diving is about. You are going into that environment, and you are going further than just staying behind your computer and doing research. You are going and personally, firsthand experiencing something. Is your fear of sharks justified? That is the third thing that I would like to talk about. Many people have been made to fear sharks due to the false image made by films, movies, and television. The fact is that most sharks and marine life fear you just as much as you fear them. They honestly don't really want anything to do with you. And let's be honest, what shark would really want to eat us? We're filthy, dirty human beings. I can only imagine that that's what's running through the shark's mind. Ew, I don't know where you've been. According to the Florida Museum of Natural History, during the time frame of 1820 to 2012, the total shark attacks on humans worldwide totaled 218 attacks. That is 218 attacks over about a 200-year time frame. That's not a lot. I have told you that I have gotten to kiss a shark, and I would like to share that experience with you by showing you this video. my personal experience kissing a shark.
So it was you?
Yes, that was me. Is scuba diving expensive? This is probably something that all of us are very concerned about, especially being in college, because college is really expensive. Although owning your own equipment is ideal, all of it can be rented. This gives you time to experiment and test all the different types of equipment that there are. It also gives you time to invest in this sport. The average cost for a class is around $100 to $300. The rental equipment ranges from $100 on up, and on the other hand, the dive equipment to own can get a little pricey, being around $400 all the way past $1,000. The dive itself can be free by going from the shore into the water, by going from your boat, like if you have a boat or your friend has a boat, you can go diving that way. But you can also go with people, so it can range. To be honest, it depends on who you go through and what you want to do. If you ask me and others, they would probably agree that this expense of scuba diving pays off for the lifetime memory that you will get from one dive. I personally remember my first dive as if it was yesterday. My body hitting that water and my breath being taken away. Not because of the fear, but because of the awe. It was gorgeous. The different colors, the different fish, sharks. I got to see a moray eel. I got to see a shipwreck, a statue. It was amazing. And I can't describe it to you. There is nothing to compare underwater to above land. I did an interview with two people. My dad being one of them, and my mom being the other. My dad has been a certified scuba diver for a substantial amount of time now. The first question I asked him was what made him want to become certified to dive. His answer was that it has always been his dream to be able to experience something new, to get out there and firsthand see new things. The second question that I asked was where and when his first dive was. He got certified in 1996. His first dive was in Utah. And then the third question that I wanted him to answer was to describe what it was like diving. He said that it was thrilling. It was like nothing he had ever seen or experienced before. And that was the same exact experience that I had. Now my mom, on the other hand, she got certified when I got certified. And me and her are two completely different people. So I wanted you guys to see a different perspective. Now keep in mind, when I was doing this interview, I was like, Mom, you're really not helping my cause. I'm trying to get my friends to go scuba diving, not make them not want it. So the first question that I asked her was if the class was difficult. She said yes. To her it was. But you also got to keep in mind that there was a substantial amount of time between when she last went to school and then. She also told me that it was because she was claustrophobic. So she had to conquer that fear. The second question that I asked her was, in her opinion, was scuba diving expensive?
10 minutes ago.
She said, yes, it can be if you're not careful. Like I said, it depends on who you go through and what you do. Before I wrap up, I would like to open the floor to any questions that you guys might have. Yes?
I'm trying to figure out how being claustrophobic and scuba diving would relate. Because like in my brain, the ocean is not really small.
Okay, so he asked if claustrophobia and scuba diving, like how they connect. From what I understand with my mom, she thinks that because you're going underwater and you're surrounded by water, and you're going pretty deep. You're going at least 60 feet underwater. There's not much around you. So you're compacted by water, you feel the pressure on you, and it just sort of makes you feel really enclosed and tight. So to wrap up, I would like to leave you guys with one thing. If I asked you, saying that I was going on a scuba diving trip in a few months and I would love for you to go, I want you to confidently look me in the eyes and say, yes, I would love to go with you.
Can I stand up?